Hello, great minds. We are at the book launch of 50 Fables by Olumide Adekoya. Olumide has degrees in law. He's also a filmmaker in addition to being a poet. 50 Fables is Olumide's first collection of poetry, and it contains retellings of Aesop's fables in verse form, written for both adults and children. Stay tuned as we delve into the essence of the book and why you should get your own copy. I am Sarah Gold, your host and storyteller. I'll be right back.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, ma. We're glad to have you. Thank you for sparing time out of your busy schedule to be with us today.
We commit the proceedings of today into your hand. You are able to keep, guide, and direct all that is committed to you. Rule in the affairs of today. Let it honor you and be a blessing unto all mankind in the name of Jesus.
Olumide, I must commend your spirit. And I can tell you, the major reason I chose to be here today is because this type of gathering really attracts people. You must know that. You are doing a big job, it's a developmental job that our society is lacking in. You must remain undaunted. This is an exercise that is worthy of support, worthy of emulation, and I'm very proud of you. I can assure you that for now, most people may not appreciate it. I peeped through the 50 Fables, and I can attest to it that it is a collection. It's a must for everyone.
Olumide has always been somebody who's been very curious about things. Whatever he put his mind to, he would want to know what we would say in Yoruba. I hope majority of us are Yoruba. He wants to know Idi Abajo. So he will investigate a bit further than the average person would. He would look at it, he would want to know why it happened like that. And I believe he has gone through a process almost like a pregnancy. He's been full of ideas, and this is a birthing of those ideas coming to light now.
This particular book actually had its genesis during the lockdown period. I have a collection of the fables, and I was reading it to my son, and I realized that these fables, on the surface, they tell one thing, but there are layers of depth to them. Everybody knows of the lion's share or sour grapes, but not many people know the actual stories behind those catchphrases.
It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to stand before this distinguished and supportive audience to give my review of 50 Fables written in verse by Olumide Adekoya. We are not just reading a collection of fables. We are being ushered into the land of subjective perceptions, enduring fictitious images of animals and nature, universal truths, tradition, and limitless imagination. We are greeted on the inside with an overview of the trappings of fables in general, an historical perspective, how they've transformed, our societies all through the years. And the author, right at the intro, acknowledges the universality of the objectives of moral teachings. At the table of contents, a buffet table, I dare say, I highlight in no particular order the titles of the 50 fables on the menu. Each of the 50 titles starts with the word "the." The. This, I believe, may be deliberate, as the author's use of this definitive article implicitly reconnects his readers with what they are already familiar with. A vivid assumption, I must say. Still savoring the array of fables from a close distance, one cannot but give due credit to the author for his free-flowing writing style, served in verses in various rations. He makes use of amazing feature of the outer dialogues, thus giving each of his fable character a voice, and many a voice garnished with rhymes, braced oftentimes with alluring alliterations. The real taste of each fable is best soaked in by having a second, third, or fourth read of the same fable. You cannot read one just, you want to read it all over and over again. And that, to me, makes me come to the conclusion that you may, at the end of the day, have over 50 fables in your memory, because by the time you read one, a second read gives it a different meaning, a third another meaning entirely. So in each of the fable, you can find like 6 different interpretations. 50 Fables is an easy read, no doubt. The book has an appeal indescribable to its readers, yet it does not fail to ignite the innate power of rationality to deduce the relationship between cause and effect, the bedrock of our moral values.
We now unveil the 50 Fables. New addition. Congratulations. So please, I encourage you not just picking a copy, but please generously launch. So please join us in launching this very good book. It should be in the shelves of each and every one of us, bookshelves of each and every one of us. It provides opportunity also to give bedtime tales to our children. It should also be in our schools and in the bookshelves.
Have advice for like children and adults who are likely to read this book?
Well, they should try by all means to ensure that our children coming up now should stick to advice. A lot of parents, I would say, are lax in disciplining their children, making sure that they are well disciplined.
I'm proud of him. I'm proud because he has pursued his dream and his creative passion. His dream had been to revive African culture. And this book is a way of reviving African culture, the stories that children were taught, that develop their morals as they grow up, and that we use even as adults. So I'm extremely proud that this is what he has focused on.
With me is Mr. Adeni Ishowemimo. He's a publisher of 50 Fables. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me.
Thank you very much, Sarah Gold.
Tell us about the book 50 Fables.
50 Fables is a book that was written by a gentleman called Olumide Adekoya. It took quite a while for us to finish the book, but we kept faith with God that because we believe when we saw some of the books, we realized that it's going to be something that will help our children, particularly now that we know that the young ones don't read anymore.
I think he's done a very good job because what he's done, like he said, he's taken stories from over 2,000 years, what he said, and he's made them, adapted them to suit the Nigerian factor, which I think is something good that he said, that he did. Now the reviewer said, yes, maybe he could have put some back and forth, the Ijakpa and things. He did put Ijakpa, but then he didn't put the songs there. And the songs are the fables that we know as children growing up. But in all, I think he's done a very good job.
I thought it's something quite commendable. Not just authorship, but he has taken time to rummage the history, the old time lessons that we've learned from our parents, from our grandparents, about stories that we were told, maybe some of us, depending on the kind of experience we had, under the moonlight, gathered round an old parent, being told these stories, or maybe some of us in other climes.
The book is a collection of 50 fables, as the title suggests. It's an easy read. It's written in verses, and I found the book very interesting. I think it's a good start for the author, and it's, you know, as the name suggests, I believe that there will be more publications after this.
What's the purpose of the book?
The purpose of the book is to transmit knowledge. The fables are originally by Aesop, so they're thousands of years old, and they're used to teach, used to instruct about the nature of life, the reality of life. So we've all heard catchphrases, the lion's share, or sour grapes, but not many people know the real meaning behind these stories, the depth behind them, and how they can be used in our lives, either to see situations as they are coming or to deal with situations as they arise. So the purpose of the book is to help, is to teach, and also to entertain. I hope I've written something that's entertaining.
50 Fables undoubtedly is a compelling read with tremendous value. Let's collectively support this laudable initiative by securing your own copy at bookstores nationwide and online. Don't miss out. Grab your copy now. I am Sarah Gold, your host and storyteller. Bye for now.